Hey everybody, my name is Erin Trout. I am a Forest Vista parent to a fifth grader, Michaela, and a first grader, Logan. And I'm here to talk to you guys today about what my role is for my job. So I am a neonatal nurse practitioner, and basically what that means is neonatal means baby, and then nurse practitioner. So I'm a nurse. I went from a bedside to actually being the doctor. So I can prescribe medications with doctor's permission. I get to go to deliveries and take care of the babies after the baby is born. And I work in the NICU, so it's a neonatal intensive care unit. So I work at a big hospital. The babies have to come to us before they can go home for many different reasons. So the first question I have is, what did you want to be when you were young? So I wanted to be a lot of different things when I was younger. I wanted to be a singer, an actor. I wanted to be an eye doctor at one point because I had issues when I was younger with my eye and nobody knew what was wrong with me. So I wanted to actually go and be an eye doctor and fix myself. So that's probably the biggest thing I wanted to be when I was younger. And the reason I got into this job is because my nephews were born very, very early. And so my nephew Donovan was in the hospital for about 8 months, and I got to see everything about the NICU setting, and it was really, really fun to see. A very stressful job having to work with babies who are sick, but it's a very, very rewarding job. So that's why I chose ultimately what I did. So my education, I had to go and obviously graduate high school, and then I went to get my bachelor's degree in nursing. It's now a 4-year program instead of just a 2-year associate program. So you have to get your bachelor's first, and then you can be a bedside nurse. And then when you go up further to be a nurse practitioner, it's either a master's degree or it's a doctorate degree. So I have my master's degree, which means I have the 4 years of undergraduate, which is your bachelor's, and then I have the extra 3 years for my master's. My program was only a year long. It depends on what program you go into. But I definitely needed to go to school further to become a nurse practitioner, not just a nurse. So lots of education. I absolutely love it. I'm probably going to go back for my doctorate at some point, but I love school. So I will probably never stop learning in this job, which is nice. So we already talked about my job title. My hours are so weird that I work. Any job in the hospital, you have very odd hours. So it's not a typical 8-hour day, Monday through Friday. It's nothing like that. So as a bedside nurse, you would work 12-hour days most likely, sometimes 8-hour days. And then when I became a nurse practitioner and started doing the doctor side of things, I still work 12-hour days, or I can even work 24-hour days. So it's a big chunk of time, but I am able to get off and spend time with my kids, and I only have to work 3 times every 2 weeks. So it's kind of nice, and it's helpful for me to be able to be home, mostly during all this crazy COVID stuff right now. So we already kind of talked about why I chose my career. I've loved babies ever since I was younger. I used to babysit all the time. I love working with babies. My degree that I have allows me to work with babies up to 2 years of age. So I can't do anything over 2 years. What do you have to do at your job? My duties. So I have a lot of duties. I first have to go to high-risk deliveries. So babies who are born before they were supposed to be born. Babies who have other problems. If their heart is built wrong. if they're sick, if they can't breathe by themselves, if they have tummy problems, if they, really anything, any reason why a baby would come to us, I take care of that baby and bring them to the unit. Once they get to the unit, I do procedures. So I get to put lines in through their belly button. So it's just like an IV. If you guys have ever seen an IV in somebody's hand, same thing. It just goes right through their belly button. So I get to do a lot of fun things like that. Really, I do anything that you would see a doctor do, except for, like I said, I do it age 2 or below. What's your favorite thing or least favorite thing about my job? My favorite thing is being able to send babies home and seeing their parents' reaction when they finally get to go home. My least favorite thing is seeing babies sick. Because seeing babies sick is not very fun. When we all think of babies, we think of happy, crying, pooping babies, right? So when I see them, sometimes they're so sick that they can't cry, that they, we want them to do more than just eat, sleep, and poop. Once we get them to that point where they get to go home, it's definitely my favorite part because these babies have went through a lot. What is a cool fact that many people don't know about your job? I think a lot of people don't know about my job, period. Mostly kids your guys' age, because I'd never heard about a NICU before. My sister had to have a baby in the NICU. And so I think ultimately not a lot of people know what a NICU is. So, and a lot of people just assume that the NICU babies are this size of your hand. And they think they're just born early, and that's why babies are in the NICU. There's a lot of reasons why babies are in the NICU. Let's see. Are there many openings for my job now? For being a very specialized practitioner, there are jobs around the United States, lots of them. Neonatology and the nurse practitioner role has the smallest amount of practitioners. So there's a lot of nurse practitioners that do a lot of like family health, pediatrics, but very few nurse practitioners actually cover 2 years and younger. So I can only work in a NICU, but there are openings. You will find them. But with COVID, it's kind of crazy. Hospitals aren't hiring that much right now. So that is that point. When you guys are adults, there will definitely be career opportunities in neonatology. Neonatology is always growing, always expanding. We're always learning about the smallest humans, and it's an ever-changing specialty. So this will definitely be available to do when you guys are adults. So really think about it. If you love babies and you love working in healthcare, then really think about giving NICU a shot. Favorite class in school? I really liked math. I really did not like science when I was in school until I got to college. And then I love science. And then math kind of went down. So now they're kind of like changed. I use math and science every single day, every day. Obviously, my entire job is about the human body and how it works. And then math, I'm constantly doing calculations. So when I give you a Tylenol, I give you, almost everybody takes the same amount. Well, babies, because they weigh so little, I actually have to do math every single time. We give medication based on how big every baby is. So we're constantly multiplying. That's a big one. Do I collaborate with others? Oh yes, I collaborate with bedside nurses. I collaborate with doctors. I collaborate with every specialty there is. There's neurology, there's the heart, there's the lungs, there's infectious disease. There's so many specialties, and everybody has to be involved in caring for each of these babies, because somebody might see something that somebody else missed. And because the babies can't talk to us, we have to really examine the baby and try to see what they're trying to tell us without verbal communication. So I went all the way to 10 minutes. I hope I answered a lot of questions for you guys. I hope you guys think about being a neonatal nurse practitioner or working with babies or doing anything in the medical field, because it's ever expanding, ever growing, and we need smart little minds to continue taking care of them. Bye.